Hello. This weekend we remember the 50th anniversary of the death of John Betjeman, one of our greatest uh, English poets. But today I particularly want to think about his faith, because he was a strong Christian, part of that high church Anglican tradition that saw the Church of England as an integral part of British culture. And indeed, his faith was personal too. He says in one of his writings, man, of course he means people, man is born to fulfill the purposes of his Creator, that is, to praise his Creator and to stand in awe of him. He saw the whole of life as being a celebration of God, and an opportunity to praise him. And other his poems help us to do that through their commentary on contemporary life, often with a kind of slightly humorous touch. He's a lovely poem in honour of a deaf person who's now died, someone who was clearly a friend of his in childhood. He took me on long silent walks, because of his deafness of course. He took me on long silent walks in country lanes when young. He knew the names of every bird, but not the song it sung. You're missing the sound of the birds that we're hearing at the moment. But he also in this poem recognises that this lovely man who enjoyed nature and delighted in it in spite of not being able to hear the birds, nevertheless eventually became part of the earth himself when he was buried. He talks about when he could not hear me speak, he smiled and looked so wise that now I do not like to think of maggots in his eyes. He recognises that now that the man's died, he's nothing. And so there was this challenge to his faith. You, God, the poem ends, who treat him thus and say, save his soul and pray, you ask me to believe you, and I only see decay. And there are many things in our world which we want to say, and you ask me to believe you, God, in spite of that? But he goes on believing. And I think this balance between faith and doubt is a knife edge that all of us who are honest with ourselves tread, because there is so much in the world that speaks against God, as well as so much that speaks for him. And we have to come down on one side or the other. William Hardy, another great poet, took the other path. He started off as a Christian, but then found that the things against Christianity were too persuasive and became an agnostic. John Betjeman sees the same problems, but comes down on the side of faith, as indeed I do. But it is this balance between the two that I think makes for an honest approach to the religious way of looking at life.